Sentimental and technical video for the QuasiDB service for the 19th of May 2021. Just a heads up on the Aussie USD because we've got the long signal. We are below weekly pivot and daily pivot, and so that's definitely important to note. You could potentially exit at very small loss. We're down 10 pips. It's completely up to you. Ideally, we want it above the pivots, really. And what you could do is place an order to buy. The reason why I'm bringing your attention to the search tool is because we had a very brutal session in Asia where the Nikkei fell quite dramatically, and we had a pretty heavy sell-in on crypto as well. So just a note on the Australian dollar, US dollar, the signal is currently down 9 pips. So you could hold it potentially. I'm probably going to hold it, and I'll just exit at yesterday's daily pivot, 77.61. It's only a small size anyway. I'm only risking 1% of my account on it, so it's fine. And just before I talk about the stop loss clusters, is that the VIX is a lot higher today at 21, and so that's above the psychological, 20 handle. So that could be potentially a bit of a risk-off scenario. And also we had a bit of a knock on the 24-hour difference as well. And if they continue to do this, it's going to impact the big picture. This is the 24-hour change. This is the big picture. If this continues to go one particular way, it's going to affect this. And if we go into positive territory, then the retail guys are net long. And if they're net long global indices, then we're going to have big issues. And we'll definitely be risk off, and we'll see a big fall on the stock markets. So bear that in mind. I'm going to talk about the SLCs now, but before I do that, just Bitcoin. I thought this was going to hold, but we clearly didn't, and we broke 40,648, and so the 100% fib is 38,737. We are well oversold now. We could potentially come down to 35k, which is, it's possible. And I don't know if we're going to break 35k, but if we do, we'll go to 30k. See how it's projecting the Fibonacci extensions. So, and then that's potentially, we might even come down there. It's all speculative. You could argue it was a bubble on the way up, and so the bubble popped, but have a look at 38,737. That's where I'm looking currently, and I'll shorten it all the way down, and so I'm hedged, so I might have to take a pretty significant loss if it continues to come down, and that's why I had quite a late night. So after this video, I'm going to have a little nap, but just remember that level there. AJ, one above is 85.20, and one below is 84.18, where I buy, and it's sideways. AU, we're within this 61.8 and 38.2 fib. You can see how it's giving us the levels. So we are sideways, and we're sideways in the sentiment as well. It could potentially break the pitchfork. So you might potentially want to exit. It's up to you completely. We are a buy, and we're above monthly pivot. So keep an eye on 7775, and we might come along that and follow that pitchfork up. And it does all depend on risk on or risk off. So do keep an eye on S&P, the Dow Jones. EA 15725, 15590. Where I buy, they shorted it, so it became a buy at that point. So we came up. EU. So bearish so bearish free drives. 1, 2, 3. So they're quite rare. The one above is 12240, and that's the shift channel top as well, pretty much. MR1 could come as a support. We could maybe come down and bounce off that. MR1, monthly resistance 1. 12209. The SLC below is 12195. But we've got to see like a confluence resistance and this bearish free drive as well. We are a buy, and they shorted it. And in fact, it's been a buy for ages. GU, zoom out. There we are, 14220, and oh come on, 14175. We are a buy sideways. It came a buy here, but that's like in the past now. But you can see how it works. They shorted it, so you know it came up. NU 7280 and 7220 were a buy, and sideways Euro yen. I had a loss on this. I had to get out. It's just ridiculous. It's just completely on a tear. I got in at MR1. I thought that was going to hold, and I got a bit slack, so it's a bit naughty of me to let it continue 60 pips. I want my stops tighter than that. I thought this was going to actually be a good resistance. So, and we did break the pitchfork as well, which gave me the indication that we could have a little sell-off. But the sentiment has been a buy for ages, so that's why I've got out. But it's not a worry. SSC 13335, 13290. Pound yen, likewise. I didn't actually, haven't traded this in a long time, but it's doing a similar thing to EJ. It's just rocket mode. 15488 and 15435. That's the reason for it to come up, because they're very skewed, so it's coming up to punish them. Dollar yen. This is now switched to sell. If you were aware, if you've been following my videos, this was a buy for a while. So we're not only a sell on the sentiment, but we're below monthly pivot. So keep an eye on 109.22. That could be a good stop loss for you, and you could get a good risk to reward there. The SLC above is 109.11, 108.8. Yeah, keep an eye on that monthly pivot, because that agrees. The technical and the sentiment now agrees, so we could have a bit of a sell-off there. If it falls, it might help the bearish case for these two, the EJ and pound yen. Dollar CAD 12080, and one below is 119.98. We're a sell, have been for ages and ages and ages. Ever since the Bank of Canada statement, we really flipped to sentiment, and they've held on. But where I've got out, I did the sensible thing, but these guys, they're not going to exit, I think, and it could come down and punish them even more. They'll have to go get out at some point. It's very, very skewed. Dollar Swiss, we're having a diagonal break, which is a dragon. So at that point, it's indicating a buy, but we went very sideways since. We are a sell on the sentiment. The one above, 89.95, and 89.53. Gold, bearish, ABCD, broke the shift channel. That's your entry there. So that would have been quite a nice trade, $30 or so. The SLC above is 1877, one below is 1859. They're quite close stop loss clusters, and we've got FOMC today as well. So it will take one of these stop loss clusters out. I pretty guarantee that's what's going to happen. I don't know which one it's going to be. We are a buy in the sentiment, but technically we've got this bearish ABCD, and you could probably argue if maybe overextended a little bit. MR3 would be the place where I would exit if you were short. Reason for it is not only monthly resistance free, but see how it's hitting the median line. So from there all the way there, and so it's like a double confluence at 1901. Plus it's got the psychological round figure, and that the retail guys love their stops at round numbers, so that's like a triple triple whammy almost. So if you were short, be careful, because the inflation expectations, they're just, everything's going a bit like a bubble, and yeah, as we saw in crypto, it could we could have a little burst of the bubble. So yeah, it's been quite frustrating, I've got to be honest. So I might stay awake a little bit longer and see what I'm going to do with this. And I'll wrap up now. Hope you have a good day. If you want any charts and stuff, just let me know, and I can do stuff on requests. And we've got a webinar on the weekend as well, so don't forget to stay tuned for that. And I'll speak to you soon.